I don't give a fuck. I just want this thing specifically to be talked about and for ALGS to like make a decision on it. That's literally all I want. You know, I
And like yeah,
that's all I
and
want,
then
literally.
and another thing, it's like maybe even if I gave it to you, like it changes sometimes. So like it doesn't like that picture or whatever I gave you would just like be kind of null in a way. Like it would be just kind of useless
Yeah,
because like
like
I said, it
with the
changes from time to
updates.
time.
Yeah, that and
It
that's
happens from
that's
time to
what
time.
makes it so strong, and that's what people like. Like a fucking Apex pub player doesn't understand because it's like when you're playing it for thousands and thousands, even $1 million in tournaments, it's like the zones changing and you having instant knowledge of where they can't end. Like that shit is so valuable. That's what makes it valuable. Is each patch, like the zones change or they don't change, and knowing that, that's what's like the competitive edge. It's like
Yeah,
with each update where the zones can and can't end. It's like I don't know. That's what makes it so fucking valuable.
yeah, I get it. I wish if it would be so much easier if I could just show you the picture, but it's yeah,
Yeah.
maybe
I mean, I've already
maybe I'll,
seen the exclusion one. I haven't seen like the actual endings one, but the
well the
exclusion
exclusion
one
one
already seems pretty fucking
it,
like valuable.
exclusion is the exclusion one that you were looking at. Was it are they dots or are they circles like big
There,
circles?
it's literally what the exclusion one is. It's literally just like highlighted, like it's like a red, and it just has like it's over areas, like circles, just like
Okay,
like
okay.
over areas where it can't end. And
Okay. So
it's
it's not
just
actually it. Okay, so like from my like I already
here. Hold
explained like
on.
mine are like dots. So like it literally gives me it's more specificity or
Yeah,
whatever. Like it
yeah.
doesn't like it's not like it broad. I think that like that type of map is a lot more exaggerated and it doesn't like actually tell you much compared to one I have.
Here,
Um
I'm gonna look at Tech tweeted out the pictures. You probably saw them.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
those are also like those are like really really dog shit compared to the ones I have. Like
yeah. I
it's
know, I know. I mean, it's probably just his was old. He back when he was on Furia, probably. So
because
look,
like some of those zones don't even like even make
look.
sense because they
This is a
over
better example. Like this right here, Hal. Right? You get this
yeah
sent from fucking Raven. All. Let's just imagine all the pro teams getting sent this from their analysts. This is gonna change the way you play this checkpoint. The checkpoint zone is the best one because look at how much of it is red. This
yeah, but that doesn't make any sense because look at the green.
Yeah, I know, but that's the thing though is I think that these are possible endings, and the red means that it can't end exactly in this point, at that given time. I mean I don't know because I don't know what the fuck they were talking about, but I would assume that these greens are possible endings, like the possible ending areas,
Yes,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
and if it's red, that means that at that time it can't end there, right? Like that's what I assume.
yeah, yeah. Red is like well, Tech literally said one's valid, one's invalid.
Yeah. So I mean
So
that's
that's
what.
why I'm just at the same time it literally makes no because like it's pretty inaccurate because there's like circles are very broad and like not specific because like look at checkpoint for example like still
Yeah.
kind of half the POI is possible but on the red is as if like nothing is
Yeah,
possible
I know, but
you know
I think that I mean I don't know like comparing these two like is kind of like irrelevant because it's like these green zones might just be like because there's like a couple that like look at this green one right here. Look at where my mouse cursor is.
yeah yeah
It can end at the nut. It can end right here at bamboo, right? Like
yeah
it's like this is just an area I think where the zones can end. So I don't think that this is necessarily like one set fucking dead center circle and like it's like
oh yeah 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 yeah
that. So it's like if it's red, then in this update it's not pulling there, right? Or like for example, like right here is a good point. Like look at this is literally half not playable. So it's like and over
yeah
here it's red, so that means it's gonna fucking pull to this one little sliver right here of where like there's no red. And I
yeah
remember there actually used to be an ending like right here, like
yeah
on this hill. So it's like
yeah
that's the way I think it works with this.
it still happens too. That actually happened in
Yeah, that's why I think
previously.
that's the way I think this works. But do you see how strong that is though? It's like you know that there's not going to be any checkpoint zones, so you're not playing, I don't know. It's like I was talking to Sweet, so he's a good example. He lands checkpoints. Like he says
Yeah
he would change completely the way he plays this zone because they would always play for. You remember the zone that used to end under this beacon, like under that tube, and
yeah
like this tube was just God spot. Yeah,
yeah
like
yeah
He said that they always like play towards that, and it's like if you know that there's no ending possible there, it would just change the way you play the game completely. You get way more points out of that game every time.
Yeah, but you also still have to worry about like there's like 50 but like a fuck ton of zones that could possibly end a checkpoint, and
Yeah,
you can't like yes, you could change your game plan that because the zone got removed from below that building or near that beacon building, but then what about all the other 50 possible zones in the checkpoint? Like, yeah,
yeah, I know that, but that's the thing though. You're eliminating all that RNG from your guess. You're saying, okay, it's not going to end here, so now I only have these options, right? You're just like it's like you're just checking off the boxes. So it's like you're not going to
yeah,
make
but
that
there's like
mistake. That's the thing. You're eliminating mistakes.
yeah, but it's not it's hard. But yeah, but you have 50 boxes and you're only checking off like 5 of them, bro.
Bro, this is not just 5, Hal. This is literally all of Checkpoint, bro. You see this shit? This is checking off all of fucking Checkpoint. Funny enough.
Yeah, but look at the green zone. It's still look at the green zone.
Yeah, I
bro.
know, but we just talked about that though. Like, look, here's the part of the green zone that's red, but then look, this is always used to be an ending. Remember, it would shift here to this choke, and look, this is not
Yeah.
red. So that's the way it works. Like, I think you should stop focusing more as much on the green, focus on the red, because the red is honestly, I don't give a fuck about this green. We know where the endings are. Like, like we know it would pull to these nuts all the time. We know it pulls up here to these fucking these nuts. Like, we played this game long enough. We know where the endings are. We knowing where the endings aren't is the biggest fucking value of this.
Yeah, no, I agree on that aspect. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's I don't know. It's just like we're going in circles, but it's alright.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just like trying to explain it to you from my POV of figuring out about this, and being like, holy shit, like these teams have had this info.
No, I get it. I get
Yeah.
it from like it just sucks because I can't show you my map or whatever, so you like understand it more. But I get it.
Do
Like I
you do
completely
you have
understand.
these zone exclusion ones?
Yes, I have a map that literally shows me like but they're not separate like this. They're on the same map. They're like but they're not big ass circles.
Yeah, okay. But
They're like tiny.
you do have that knowledge of like these zones aren't, happening. It's like
Yeah.
it gets taken out of the game. So that's like the biggest
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing for me. It's like I don't know. There's like it's like that lava fissure one I was talking to you about. We literally played that building in Pro League, because we thought it was gonna pull up there, and like that we would have changed our game plan completely because we knew okay, this zone's not gonna pull over here to this building. So it's like I don't know. Maybe that lava fissure one's a bad example. Like I'm trying to like look at one on here that would be a good example. Like for a launch pad zone, like we like to play for the height, right? And I see that the height is a possible ending right here. This used to happen all the time right here. Remember in launchpad?
Yeah.
It's like this would just, it would be like a, 100% like, okay, yeah, we're going to play that every time. It's just like a game plan thing more than anything, right? That's pretty much what I'm saying. And it's like, yeah, on zones that are far away from you, does it maybe help you as much? I mean, it might help you a little bit based on like the the direction you rotate in from, right? But that's I don't know. It's more so just it's a competitive advantage, and it needs to be talked about and addressed, and yeah,
Well, that's fair.
because
Yeah,
this shit is like I don't know. It's just like seeing this. Like I'm sure when you first received this from Raven, like you were like, wow, like that's fucking crazy. That because we've all known this, like playing professional Apex all this time. It's like we know that zones change, and knowing exactly when those zones change, that is like and exactly how they're changing is just like crazy.
there's not well, I always thought there was a pattern, but it just there is no like pattern to it. It's just like you said, it's the only advantage to it is understanding what zones don't exist
Yep.
anymore, as like you said.
Yeah.
But like I'll give you an example because like you say you talk about game plan, right? So
Yeah.
I have the storm point one, right? And you said that if you have a zone and you hit beacon and you think that zone is ending in launch pad, right?
Mm-hmm.
So from my like the map that I have,
Yeah.
The only zones that could possibly happen from what I'm looking at is on the fingers
Yeah, I
of
know. And
Launchpad.
that's the thing though. You know how I figured that out is from fucking trial and error with my teammates, you know? And it's like that's the thing is you eliminate the entire like process of trial and error because you just received, you know, a map from the backend files of, you know, showing you where the zones can end. And it's like me and my teammates literally made the mistake, you know, playing this big building in Launchpad and like, you know, playing this back building one time. And it's like, no, these zones don't happen anymore. We found that out because you know, we fucking, you know,
Yeah,
we
you did.
played them and
Yeah,
it shifted
yeah,
away
yeah.
every single time. So that's the thing is like you would completely eliminate any error from your game plan based on like zone reads and you just have it given to you because you like access the files in whatever way, you know, people get fucking a stick up their ass about the data mining shit. Like, so I just accessing the files. That's the way I'll say it.
Yeah, I don't even personally know like understand like how it happens or how it works or whatever, so I can't like speak on it. But yeah, I'm just talking. I was just like speaking on it from a player's perspective, and I agree on that.
Yeah.
Um, I I agree on that what you said,
Yeah.
100%.
That's the thing is like my biggest opinion of this is that this shouldn't be a thing at all. That no one should have access to this at all because this just eliminates like, you know, the RNG of a BR completely. You know, it's like if you know where the zone can't end, it's like, you know, it kind of takes away from that RNG aspect where it's like, you know, the trial and error shit that I was just talking about. It's like you just know that it's not going to end there, so you change the way you play completely.
Why would you want RNG to be like included
I
or
mean,
like not
I
decreased?
mean like I do and I don't, right? Like it's like I mean, that's the thing is like if they allow this, then I want everyone to have access to it. I don't want only a couple teams to have access to it, you know? It's like that's what
Yeah,
I want. I want just a level playing field. If they want to do this, that's completely fine with me, but I want to have access to it too, you know?
yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair. Mm. Like I said, I think the only times that I think that's the only time that it's even beneficial is if you have priority, like you know, you land near
Yeah.
the zone or
Yeah,
whatever.
100%. I mean, but you
But
can
like
say that
the
about zone
game,
teams though, you know? Like zone teams play zone every single game like, you know, if they know exactly where the zone's going, that's like, you know, just like an incredible advantage, right? It's like, you know, think about like teams like Liquid and like DZ that play zone every single game. If they know that's the thing is when you haven't been a zone team in a long time, but you knew how it was. When you would read zone wrong, you remember how like it was just like, oh fuck, right? Like you know, your fucking game almost goes to goes to shit. It's like
yeah.
if you know where the zones are going, you're gonna have a good game almost every game because you're rotating in and getting a good spot. I don't know.
Well, not that's the thing. I always bring this up. Like if I gave this to a zone team, they'll still suck as much as they do. Like it wouldn't change as
Yeah,
much as you
yeah.
think because like I said, there is the number of possible zones outweigh the amount of like zones that cannot happen on certain spots on the map, and that is like why RNG and predicting the zone, or just like not either like not predicting the zone. You can't predict the zone. You can have like an area of what you think where it's gonna go, but yeah, it's zone teams can only get so far with it.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
not.
I agree. Yeah, like that's why I said that. I didn't say that this is something that literally makes you a good team. This isn't the only reason why you guys are doing good. Like, no, like, definitely not. That's not this at all. Like, this is just a huge advantage that could change the way that you think about the game, the way you play the game, and you know, that's literally it.
And you just like it's another thing. It's as if like I feel like you don't see that even let's say like I'll give you another example because why not?
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Let me try to find like a good example here. So for antenna, for example,
Okay.
so the only spot that it can end is northeast side of antenna. It cannot end anywhere else in antenna.
Yeah.
That is like obviously very beneficial, right?
Yeah.
But for you have 20 teams, not we you think that because let's say all 20 teams knew that it can only end northeast of the antenna. What is everyone just gonna fucking Valcult early into that spot and just
No,
like
no,
see who
no,
gets the
no,
fucking
not at
building?
all.
Like
But you know what teams will do? every team in the game is going to be looking for these two buildings, and every team in the game isn't going to be playing over here fucking middle antenna thinking it's going to fucking shift towards them. You know, it's like, and a lot of teams will start playing towards launchpad side to rotate in. You know, it's like it changes the way that you think about the game. That's pretty much the point I'm trying to make. I feel like, yeah, we're kind of like beating a dead horse at this point, but it's like,
But
I don't know.
I'm just trying to explain changing how you knowing where a zone is going will not benefit unless you land close to it. That is the only way it will benefit, because even if you come from launchpad side, or you come from northwest Jurassic, or you come from south, or anywhere it could it possibly be, you have other factors like other teams, you have other factors like the zone, that you are just forced into these shit positions to get to the zone that you know where it's gonna end.
I don't know,
And
bro.
that's just battery
I think that you're like, I don't know. I think that you're just like, you're not like understanding it from a person's POV that doesn't have this information compared, because you've obviously had this information, you know? You're not thinking about it from a perspective of these people have no fucking clue. Like, bro, think about all the teams, right? That didn't have this, that are shit at fucking zone calling, right? Like, imagine if they were handed this piece of paper and shown, yeah, guys, so when it's hovering over antenna right here, it's not going to pull anywhere in antenna. Like, think of all the fucking shit can teams that are just like, all right, yeah, let's take middle antenna. You know, like, it's just like, I don't know. It's like when
but they'll have no other choice but to take middle antenna.
but that's the thing though, How imagine, right? The competitive edge that you have over everyone else knowing this info when no one else does. That's the point I'm trying to make. You know? It's like,
no,
imagine, that's the point I'm trying to make. So like you saying that, oh, just because you're not landing near it, that doesn't really matter, right? Because it's like,
it does though.
no, it doesn't, bro. Because if you see that this entire area of Sino isn't gonna, their ending isn't here, right? And you're still playing edge, but you think the zone is gonna shift out, or like, you know, fucking towards this nut, or, you know, shift out towards these bottom buildings, which you used to do. It's like you have this info is just so valuable. You don't understand it because you have had it, right?
Yeah, but I don't use it though. Like I barely even use it.
I know, but like, just because you don't use it doesn't mean that it's not valuable, you know? Like, and as much as you want to say like you personally don't use it, I'm sure fucking Raven's using it. I'm sure Raven's telling you guys, hey guys, you guys should rotate around this way, and he's using this info, right? Like, you guys saw that zone and like, look at the fucking exclusion. It's not going to end anywhere here, so you need to rotate around this side. There's more possibilities for an ending over here. It's literally just the information is so valuable, and like, I don't know how else to like paint it out for you. Like, this is so fucking valuable.
Well, yeah, I feel the same way.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, just because you're saying like personally, maybe recently, yeah, it hasn't been helping you guys that much, and you think that, you know, it's been other things, but like, you know, I don't know. It's just, this is so fucking valuable, and you probably don't realize it because you've been using it for a little while now. You know, it's like, I don't know. It's like, if I got this shit, bro, and I saw these zone, like, it would just change the way I you know, we play the game as a team, and, you know, I don't know.
So what? Can you give me can you explain? Let's say, I'm trying to give an example since you lane launchpad. I can't give the Nintendo one as a good example. Let's see. Maybe World's Edge can. I can't really. I can't use antenna as a good, even though antenna is a really good way of explaining it. But you lane launchpad, so you.
I don't know. I think like the set examples is just like, I don't know. It's kind of bad. It's like, you need to more so think about it from, you know, imagine, okay, let's just say this is Storm Point for our, I mean, this is different because this is so old. Like, look, Down Beast isn't even here. But let's just say this is our Storm Point. You just got this map, you know, fucking fresh out of the oven, fucking update just dropped on the map, on the zones, and it's like, you know that these certain zones aren't happening. It's just like, I don't know how to like paint the picture for you to show you how valuable this is, you know? It's like, think about fucking all these zones that end right around here that we've been having, right? Like, have you seen these zones that have been happening like right around
Yeah, yeah,
here?
yeah.
Yeah, it's like you get it this fresh out of the fucking oven from Raven, and he's like, guys, this zone isn't happening anymore. So don't stop playing for these spots that will get you in a winning spot in this zone. You're gonna start playing for the spots that is gonna get you in a winning spot in this zone for this building or these little groups of building. It's just like I'm trying to like
Yeah, but
paint the picture for you, like to show you how
yeah,
valuable this would be from update to update when the zones change.
no, I get it, but it's only certain like there's only like I'll give you some of the POIs that is like brutally just like I think OP for like this. So like antenna, like the shit I told you about antenna, like that's
Yeah,
OP,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like commands, like regarding command center, like that's OP.
yeah, 100%.
But looking at, let's see, anywhere else on the map, like truthfully, it does not really give you an advantage. Like, or maybe in launchpad, antenna, and command center, because like I already explained earlier, like you were talking about being earlier, right?
Yeah,
And like I'm looking at the map, and there is a bunch of zones that were excluded in that area,
yeah.
but there's also still zones next to those excluded zones that still like that happen. So it doesn't like it just kind of like because it's like the endings are dots on the map, but we're looking at a big ass circle in game, and there's so many possibilities of it like happening to the point where it just becomes like unpredictable. If that's the best way to describe it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying, bro. But like I said, like just even having that knowledge of what zones aren't going to happen and like, as much as you want to tell me that it isn't like as valuable as I think, like it's still information that gives you an edge. And that's like the point I'm trying to make. Like it gives you an edge. And I think you've already acknowledged that. So it's like we're kind of just like going in circles. This gives you a competitive edge, no matter what way you spin it, this does, especially when you have this and other teams don't, you know?
Yes, yes. But
So,
do you? Can I ask you a question?
yeah.
I don't even know the answer to this question because I'm like curious. Maybe Chad can answer it. What would you think that analysts like? What would analysts and analysts even be able to do if they weren't allowed to like maybe Temple or somebody can chat like they talk about like accessing information through client or client side and stuff like that. What would analysts be able to do? Because there's a lot of things like let's say you don't allow this to happen.
Yeah.
There will be so many other things that an analyst as their job would not be able to do, and they would not be a thing anymore. Or am
I don't
I
think that
like
I don't think that's
incorrect?
true at all. I mean,
Am I wrong in that?
no, I don't think that's true at all. I think there's still plenty of things an analyst can do. I just think
Go
that
into the game and study zones in your codes.
I mean,
You need an
dude,
analyst to
I
do
mean,
that.
bro,
You need an
how?
analyst. You need an
So
analyst to do
so the
that.
argument that you're making right now is okay, then let's just fucking let everyone do this, right? Like that's what you're saying right now.
Well, you either let everyone do this
Right?
or
Yeah.
you don't allow it at all.
Yeah, so that's what I want. That's what I've
But I'm
wanted since the
saying,
beginning.
well, no, but I'm saying like if you don't allow this to happen, the analyst position just becomes non-existent.
I don't think that's true at all though. Like there's plenty of things you can do as an analyst. You can, have a fucking you can record teams rotates through the ALGS map. You can see, have recordings of or have fucking diagrams of zone endings. Like I know PvP did that. Like PvP motherfucker like this is like
Maybe
fucking
he was a coach
next
though.
next level hacker fucking shit compared to PvP. Motherfucker had the goddamn whiteboard out and with his marker and fucking had
Yeah,
zone
PvP's a coach though.
had printouts of fucking zones. Yeah, I know, but that's still analytical work is getting zones, right? Like that's analytics. Like you can still have zone printouts, the way zones shift. You can still record, see how teams rotate for your team. Like, it's like there's still plenty of things you can do as an analyst. This isn't the only thing that an analyst has to offer for a team. Fucking accessing the files and giving them, this kind of information.
No, I'm saying someone in chat said I believe like some of the thing like some of the tools that you need to like access things like this overlap with other things, and it will become to the point where they're not of use anymore in a way. But like I said, I'm asking a question. I
Damn,
don't know.
wait. So are you saying that if Respawn comes back and says that this isn't allowed anymore? Are you saying that Raven loses his job on the spot?
No, because he's not an analyst.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. That would be
He's a
funny.
coach. He's a coach.
Okay.
He does a lot more. He does a lot more things than just
Well, I don't know, bro.
whatever you want to call this.
I don't know. Like, you already said it. You literally said exactly what I want. I either want everyone to be able to do this, or I want them to not even like let people like, access this. That's what I want. And
Yeah,
you can make the argument that analysts won't have a use anymore. I don't agree with that because I think there's plenty of other things they can do. And in terms of like analytics and stuff. But yeah, I mean that's just like the end all be all. I mean ALGS has to make a ruling on it. They're either gonna allow it or not allow it, and then everyone's gonna base their fucking next move off of that.
Yeah, we'll see. I believe they won't do anything about it, and people will be resorted to figuring it out themselves, and it will be back to how it is already. So
Yeah.
but we'll see. All right.
All right. Peace, bro.
Later.